Hey guys, Jerry. So one of the things I talk to small business owners about all the time is it seems like small business owners are in one of three lanes. And one lane's not better than the other necessarily, but I think it's really like as you audit yourself as a small business owner, I think it's really important to audit what lane are you in. So are you this, I always use Don Patton, my friend, he's retired now, early 70s, but he, who's saying it, I did it my way. Is that Frank Sinatra?
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah. So he, Don, for the most part, never had any employees. I think he had a few seasons where he tried to have a few employees, but what worked best for him was Don knows his numbers. He priced jobs, bid jobs really well. He audited every job really well, and he stayed lean and mean. And so I think the first lane is somebody that, a small business owner that they're the craftsman and maybe they have no employees, maybe they have as many as 2 or 3 employees, but they basically control everything, right? So when they take a vacation, they just shut the business down. And I think that's a lane that works for a lot of my friends. The middle lane is really interesting, and I think it's the hardest lane to be in, and yet I think that's where most guys are, is the lane where they're wearing a physical tool belt some of the day, and then they're working using the business tool belt some other parts of the day. So what I mean by that is, like they're a craftsman like Don Patton, where they're physically on job sites, they're physically swinging hammers, and they're physically trying to run operations in the business. They're physically, they're doing all the bids, they're running on all the leads, they're making all the proposals, they're doing all the accounting and financing and invoicing, right? They're doing everything, and yet they may have somewhere between 3 and 20 employees. But that middle lane, dang, it's hard. It's really, really hard. And so, but I think that's where most of my friends are as small business owners, and they're in that middle space, that tension. I actually call it hell. It's the tension between being small and like really nimble and controllable, and then scaling into this, I don't know, maybe it's a purgatory, I don't know which religion phrase works, but it's tough. That's a tough spot to be. And then you've got very few, 1% of my friends that own businesses that are up here in this third area that their tool belt has nothing to do with swinging a hammer. Their tool belt is working on it close to 100% of the time. A lot of guys don't want to get, my friend Don Patton never wanted to get to that point where he could sell it or it could run itself, where he's the CEO of the company, right? He's not working in it at all. He's just working on it, right? So he's like the CEO, the president, or whatever. Like I said, realistically, it's about 1% of my friends or less. Maybe realistically, 1% of my friends that own businesses that are in that space. So I think the first step is to audit, like what lane am I in? And then, stay in your lane. Like if stay in your lane if that's a satisfying lane for you. What I talk to a lot of owners about is like if you're in this first lane and you want to get in the second lane, it's going to take years. And if you want to like invest the time and energy, it might take 2 years, 5 years, longer to get to this space, right? So I talked to some of my friends that it's not impossible to get in this space over here. It's just almost impossible. So I tell a lot of my friends, like, plan on it being almost impossible. It's going to take a Herculean effort, but it's doable. It's just going to take a lot of time and effort. So again, what lane are you in? What lane are you in? And do you want to stay in that lane? If you do, good for you. I have so much respect for Don Patton because he knew himself, he stayed in his lane, and he finished the race. He retired and built a really great business. And when he was done, he was totally cool just turning the lights off and being done. Have immense respect for that man. Great guy. So more to come. One of the reasons that I'm doing this is because I get alongside a lot of my friends that own businesses, and I want to be an encouragement to them and help them move if they want to move up into different lanes or they want to move down. Some of the guys, I think it'd be best for them, and I think they also might miss being in this very nimble, controllable lane. So one of the reasons that we shoot these videos is to try to provide encouragement and some training and equipping for my friends and their businesses.